So this is a large hexahedron cluster on top of a building at the lake shore, close to Lake Ontario in Toronto. You can see the size of the building that's on. It's a huge building, and look at the size of the active cluster. That's just as big as the one I shot in the woods. They're getting larger and larger and larger, and they're appearing all over town. And just take a look at that thing. That's the hexahedron. It's a large cluster. You can see that it's got a plasma state, a pure plasma state right in the center, and it's surrounded by high velocity orbiting orbs around the white part there. That's plasma, that's pure plasma, and the red part are the orbits of the larger orbs that also make up the center nucleus of that hexahedron cluster, and they are revolving around the nucleus itself at very high velocity, so that you can't see them individually, but you can see the trail that they make counterclockwise around the cluster nucleus. The thing is emitting so much energy, it's created its own energy field, and that X that you see, that is the extension of the energy field, and that X shows you approximately just how large the rest of the cluster is, because this is just the nucleus that's glowing, and the whole area around there is the same cluster. It's part of one cluster, and it's very close to dusk now, and that cluster is going to accelerate or bring all the orbs up to velocity and just the right speed so they could go up into the sky for the night. And you can see just how big and bright that is. That entire area there is one cluster, and that's the nucleus. The glowing part is the nucleus. The white plasma part is the center of the nucleus, and the red part are the orbs revolving around the center and creating the plasma. And plasma that's glowing is actually superheated air, because those things are revolving around the nucleus so fast. And they are just large orbs at a very high velocity in a counterclockwise rotation or revolutions around the nucleus. So that's a very large cluster. I don't know exactly how large, but we can look at the building. It's a large building, and look at the size of it. It's right on top. And that is not a man-made light. There's no pole, and there's nothing to show that that's attached to anything. That's just suspended in midair. And it's a large hexahedron cluster. You can actually see the hexahedron in the middle. And the red part around it also is in the form of a hexahedron. And you can just see the super fast revolutions around the nucleus. All the orbs going around. The rest of the orbs are going around the nucleus too, but the farther they are from the center of the nucleus, the slower are their revolutions. So only the orbs in the center or near the center are revolving faster than your eye can see. You have to slow the video down to see them, otherwise you can't see them with your eye. You have to slow it down. So basically, those orbs that are going around so fast around the nucleus and the glowing nucleus, which are larger even orbs revolving around themselves in the nucleus itself, are creating that glow and the plasma, and are powering up the cluster for the night. Since it's going to be like a recharge station for all the orbs that are going to fly tonight in our sky. And you can see that there are many orbs all around the center, or the nucleus, and they look like they are white spheres, and they are smaller white spheres than the ones that are creating the nucleus. And they also revolve counterclockwise within their own individual clusters, but their own individual clusters as a whole revolve around the nucleus. And I'll back it up. So that whole cycle, as far as you can see on the frame, and even if I go farther, that whole area, that's the nucleus, and all the other orbs that the air is full of are revolving around the nucleus center, and that is a huge cluster. Just watch the orbs, how fast they're going around and how much plasma they're creating. And you can see that those X lines are shooting out orbs into the atmosphere once they're charged up. That's the reason for the X. It's not only a force field type thing, but it also is an energy field, and it shoots off the charged orbs from the nucleus right into the air, and then they go into the sky. So that's like a charging station, and it's charging all the orbs for the night. They have that during the day too, for the orbs that are up in the sky in the daytime. And our skies, and near the ground and in water, on trees, all over, it's all full of these organisms, and they're creating more of themselves to just overpopulate this planet. I'm sure it's going on all over the place. I'm just going to close in one more time, then I want to shoot something else. Just keep an eye on that cluster and how fast those orbs are revolving around that nucleus. And look at the X mark. Those are energy bonds and an energy field. All of them create an energy field. There are actually 6 of those bonds, not just the X. The other 2 on the sides are not as visible, but they're there. Don't make any mistake about it, they're there. So what's happening is like that cluster is charging up all the orbs that you see there that are white and just circulating around as if you were boiling water. Well, they enter the cluster, get charged up, and then get shot out into the air or the surrounding area by and through those energy bonds. And you can just see that the orbs are shooting out from the center of the nucleus right out. The 2 on top are going right out into the atmosphere, and the 2 on the bottom are going down to the ground, and the 2 on the sides are going maybe 20, 30 feet or 50 feet or 100 feet off the ground, depending on how high the cluster is off the ground. But wherever they go, they'll be charged up for the night. So you can just see that that's a huge cluster, and you can just see the speed of those rotations or revolutions. They're all counterclockwise. Everything revolves counterclockwise with these orbs. They never go clockwise, only counterclockwise. Okay, so I'm going to stop filming this and show you something else.